everybody, I'm Scott Gotze with Singing News, and we're really excited today to be talking with our friend from Altrua Healthshare, Randy Sluter. Randy,
Hi, Scott.
thanks for being
Good
here,
to
man.
see you. Thank you for having me.
Coming all the way from Texas to be
Austin,
here in Nashville.
Texas, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We are so grateful for the partnership with Singing News.
Yes.
And you guys saying, hey, we love Southern Gospel music.
We love Southern Gospel.
I know, man. And you guys have been supporting Christian music for years now.
Yes.
And so we're so glad that you're with us. But
Thank you.
these folks at home may not even know what Altrua Healthshare is.
Sure.
And I'm going to give you the floor, man.
I love it.
Tell me about it.
Thank you. Well, Altrua Healthshare is one of my major passions. Altrua Healthshare is a network and a community of families that come together to put money into an escrow account and to be able to share in each other's medical needs. We're a faith-based organization,
Right.
so we operate with a statement of standards that is
Wonderful.
biblically based. And, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years now, so it's
Wow.
been a passion of my heart. It's been a destiny for me and my family and for the members that are involved. But it originally started years ago, just out of a need of medical expenses that
Sure.
came from an individual who lost a family member.
Oh, wow.
And so he went to his church. The community there within the church started giving him money to be able to help with the medical expenses in the hospital and death and all of that.
Wow.
So out of that was born Healthshare. So
incredible.
being a part of this has been very much a blessing to me, just through stories that I've been through the journey of my own life, but seeing it spread across the nation as an option outside of typical insurance has been a blessing.
Yeah. So you have a lot of members, had it for 25 years, and I know that you guys have helped share in medical expenses, probably tens of thousands at this point. You may even
If
know the
not
number.
hundreds of
Yeah.
millions.
Okay, there
Right.
you go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to speak for you, but what stood out to me, the first time that we met, I was at the Altrua office, and we were having a meeting talking about some things in Christian music, and you said, I hate to do this, but I just got a message. I need to go call one of our members who just lost a child.
Yeah.
And that moment, I was like, that guy, he means what he says. He means what he does.
Yeah.
And you got on the phone and prayed with them. And I don't know what all you said, none of my business, but boy, did that touch my heart.
Yeah.
And that just made me know for sure that when we partner with people, we want to be like-minded.
Right.
We love people, we care about people, but boy, you showed it that day.
Well, you know, you hit a soft spot.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we were going to go here.
It's the passions of the heart that drive someone forward in their calling. And that right there is one of many stories, Scott, that I've been able to experience through my journey as CEO for Altrua Healthshare. You know, we're going through all of the stuff right now with all the flood victims.
Oh, yeah.
Not just in Texas, but New Mexico, across the nation. You know, and it triggers your heart to understand why God has put you in a position to be able to do what you do. You know, during COVID, we were able to give out over $1 million to our families. And it wasn't just to the family, but the message behind the give was, if you don't need it, your neighbor does.
Wow.
So pass it on, you know.
People that weren't sick, right? I mean, you were just trying to help because of the financial struggle.
Financial struggle.
And that has nothing to do with what you normally do at all.
At all. That's the whole philanthropy side of Altrua Ministries, which we're big givers, and we try to partner with other nonprofits and just work with our members in need. You know, during the Texas flood, there were 150 people missing. You know, over 100 people died.
Right.
Just in the hill country. And those numbers are still not found to be fully true. So a lot of stuff, a lot of stories of just God's faithfulness through the tragedy with these families. And so that's where my heart is. You know, on the Healthshare side, I love it. I get to, like you said, pray with families. I've been to funerals, you know, over loss. I've done things like that, visited hospitals when we have members, you know, on their deathbed. But, you know, the whole ministry side of just being the hands and feet of Jesus,
Right.
whether it's through a Healthshare or whether it's through a storm.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote a letter that I believe was posted, Hope After the Storm, you know, and that came from me. And
It's okay. Take your time.
I woke up about 4 o'clock the Sunday morning right at the storms, and it's like God gave me this beautiful story of hope. You know, you've been in storms.
Yeah.
I've walked with you through storms.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been through storms. You've walked with me through storms. And if we don't hold on to the hope and our faith, you know, and it's not matter where we are, you know, as an individual, it's where our hope comes from.
Yeah.
You know, and so hope after the storm, through the storm, before the storm, after the storm, it's the hope that I rely on daily to get me where I need to be, you know, in my faith with Christ.
Yeah. Well, whether you did it intentionally or not, but you're talking about after the storm, you know, you're reaching people for the glory of God and
Right.
encouraging them. And I don't know, I know for me personally, I would say for most people, right after the storm, yes, you need help probably more than
Right.
ever. That's true. But whatever that storm is, when you get that help, your heart is so much softer in
Yes.
those moments to
Yeah.
be able to speak life and speak the gospel into
Right.
a family or an individual. And so all of those philanthropy things that you guys are doing, I think it's exponentially greater than some of the other things that I could think of that people try to do, because you're meeting them at their time of need.
Yeah.
And even when people turn in expenses, you know, how everything actually operates, people may not know this, but as a member, you join, right? And
Yes.
so kind of walk us through, like, so you join, right? And so I am now a member. And then what happens when I have to turn something in? How does
Sure.
that work?
Well, the way that Altrua Healthshare operates is we operate with an escrow account. You join, we are not insurance.
Right.
That's our number one thing. We're not
Right.
insurance.
Right.
We're an alternative to insurance. But when I designed everything and put everything into place, I saw the ease of insurance versus the difficulties that were there with some of my colleagues, if you will, within the Healthshare world.
Right.
And I didn't want that member experience for my members. So I want it to be an ease of access. So when you join Altrua, you receive a member ID card. There's options for you to choose within your membership as to
Right.
what's good for you or your family. But when you make that decision, a contribution request is sent out. It's not a contract, number one. You can join, you can get off anytime. So as a member, you have that option, you know, and that opportunity to turn in medical bills if you have to pay, and you'll get a reimbursement. But you do have your member ID card to where there's information on the back for your provider of choice to be able to turn that medical bill into, so it can go through our process properly and medical needs get adjudicated, then the payment gets adjudicated on behalf of the member. So it is truly, our escrow account is set up to member sharing, but we manage that for our members. So there's a real ease of access there, you know, that our
Right.
member services are able to process for your benefit. And I say benefit, but for your benefit personally, to where you're not having to go out and do all of this extra stuff as a member.
Yeah, and I know that that's one thing that, you know, we've heard as we've, you know, talked to other healthshare companies in
Yeah.
the past, that ease of not even having to turn everything in, you know, making the individual responsible for 100%. That may
Right.
happen sometimes.
Yes.
But having that portal and the apps and everything that you have
Right.
technology-wise, or just picking up the phone. You even have a concierge line.
Yes.
You got to tell them about that, because I just think that's cool.
Well, thank you. So the concierge line is, say, Scott, you have a need, you break an arm, you don't know what to do. You and your son are out doing
Right.
something. You don't have time to sit there and Google and decide what you're going to do. There's a number that you have ease of access through the app or through the website, or you can download and put it on your phone.
Right.
You
Contacts,
call
yeah.
them and say, hey, here's the situation. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I need. And they will do the work for you. And they'll put you in touch. And if they need to call, pre-negotiate, do whatever is needed to get you in for your ease of access, that's provided to you as a member.
That's incredible. Well, I know I took my son snow skiing and all of that, snowboarding. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was going to have to use that concierge service coming down Breckenridge Mountain there for a minute. I hit a tree pretty good, but I didn't have to. I didn't have
Is
to.
that what happened?
Oh, I've had head injuries my entire life. Just call my mom. She'll tell you all about it. I don't know if she dropped me or if I dropped myself, but something happened in the process. Funny. Yeah. All right. So if they want to find out more, we'll have information on the screen here. But I want to just take a deep dive into what this is really all about, because I kind of feel like you don't even really have to be a Christian. While everything is biblically based, you don't even have to be a Christian. You're using this as an outlet to speak faith into people and actually use it as an outreach. But it's almost like Altrua in some ways, and I don't want to overstep or speak out of turn, but it's almost like Altrua is kind of like the hands and the feet of the church, and maybe what the church was originally designed to be, taking care of one another, taking care of the people in need.
That's right.
Now, clearly, you have to have some structure for that, and you did that. But is that kind of accurate?
It's more than kind of.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you know where the word Altrua came from?
I don't know.
So, altruism is where it came from.
Okay.
And that's caring for one another, helping each other out, all that. So, Altrua is named that as a derivative of altruism. So we take that very seriously, and moving forward with that. But way back before insurance was even created, there were communities of families and churches that would put their money into a pool with each other to be able to take care of the community. Right. And so that's kind of the model. We are a big community across the nation. We are a community of believers, but also being the evangelistic side and the hands and feet of Jesus. I'm not going to go to your church and tell you to come to my church, right?
Right.
And that's not right. And so I'm going to go out and evangelize people through our opportunities, our statement of standards, so they can see what it's like to be a believer and to understand, these statement standards, these are biblical. Yeah. Oh, that's what that means. Well, why can't I do that? Oh, okay, this is where it is in the Bible, and they sign up for that. So it's an open door to be able to present the gospel in not a silent way, but in a gentle way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so creative.
Yeah.
So creative. The devil uses all kinds of sneaky tools, and I'm not calling you sneaky now. I'm not doing that. No. But creative ways to reach people. Yep. And you guys are doing that. And if you're just tuning in, I'm Scott with Singing News, and this is Randy Sluter with Altrua Healthshare, and we are excited to have them as a partner with Singing News Brands, and all of the amazing things that they are doing nationwide, but taking care of people one member at a time. Hey, Absolutely. That's pretty good. Have you ever used that slogan?
You know what? Can we put that at the bottom?
Yeah, yeah. And the information will be at the bottom. And now some people may be listening on the radio. So
AltruaHealthshare.org.
Okay, AltruaHealthshare.org.
Yes.
All right. So there's different levels, right? You can kind of pick and choose. Well, now actually, I think you can pick and choose. So if somebody is more concerned with one illness, maybe cancer, or less concerned, they can actually pick.
That's right.
Lifetime and or a year? Is that how that works?
There's different options. I mean, for emergency rooms or doctor visits or plan limits, if you will, through the membership types. We do have some individual plans. We call them the gym plans that we've had for a long time that a lot of families use. Right. They're pre-designed. You have to go through and accept everything as usual, but they're like, hey, this might be the best fit for your family. Right. If it's an individual or a family, we have the MyShare option,
Right.
where you go in and you pick and choose what you want. It's kind of like a Amazon checkout cart, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. And the other cool thing is about Altrua, we're always concerned. Everybody is concerned with inflation and everything always going up.
Yep.
Altrua really has stayed pretty true to its price structure for
Years.
Years?
Yes.
I mean, how do you do that when everything costs more? I think I saw something. It's like 23.5% or 24% inflation over 5 years. You guys have employees, you have expenses.
Yes.
How do you keep that price level at the same price?
Sure. Yeah, that's a very good question. There's secret and key ingredients to everything.
Oh, do we have to
And
sign like an NDA?
The secret is being let out, but here's the key ingredient. We are able to have our negotiations in place where we have relationships with providers all across the nation, but we've been able to secure really deep discounts.
Okay.
And that is for the benefit of our members. So we go in and negotiate on medical needs as they come in. We create relationships with the providers, to be able to get these discounts way, way low. So, average discounts fluctuate, depend on utilization.
Sure.
But, I mean, we see upwards of 70, 80, 90% discounts,
That's
by
incredible.
being able to present that to providers. So that's really been our sustaining factor. We've had to adjust,
Sure.
cost, over the years, but to do these doubling of membership costs like we're seeing, we've never done that.
Yeah. So somebody can feel really good if they're choosing the program, whether it be Sapphire or they're doing their own thing in the MyShare.
Correct.
They can have some peace and comfort in knowing that it's not going to double next year like so
Absolutely.
many things have.
Yeah.
Not just in this space, right?
Correct.
I mean, I know it is a thing in insurance and in health shares. I know that that's a thing. But that's a big deal to people because, my storage unit, I think, goes up $50 every 6 months.
Yep.
And, so I'm always thinking, well, what's it going to go to next?
Yeah.
And so it's always in the back of your mind these days because everything just goes up. And I know
That's
that
right.
you guys are working to keep it the same.
Well, member experience is a very important thing. You can have a good relationship with a member and you can get in and do the things you need to do. What's going to upset a member the most?
The money.
That's right. So we really try to maintain that side of our member experience out of the value that they put into sharing each other's medical expenses. To say, hey, I have this, I can do this, and I can afford this, and I do want to help Scott with his medical needs or help this person or that. So maintaining that level of integrity through our, financial options that the members commit to is very important to me.
Yeah, I know that it is. And, not that I'm against, big corporation insurance companies. I'm not. And I don't think you are either. But, thankfully, most years I don't really have to turn anything in. Like I go to a yearly checkup, right? And so, I look at all that money I've spent and I can't help but wonder, where did that go? Because I didn't use it.
Yeah.
And hopefully it was used for somebody.
Right.
But in this case, the way that you guys have this structured, you have your overhead so low that so much of this money goes to the people who actually need it when they need it.
Yeah.
We talked about the disaster relief. Nobody said, hey, Randy, Altrua's got to go over there and help in this disaster relief. Nobody did that.
Right.
Giving $1 million out during COVID. Most companies would have pocketed that money if they had it, right? Just to add to the bottom line. And I get that, with this being a little bit different, you're not necessarily a for-profit company.
We're a nonprofit.
But even still, even nonprofits sometimes do the same things as big corporations,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, no, that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal, not just to be able to offer this to our audience, but I encourage our audience to really look at Altrua and give this some thought. If you're thinking about needing some health care in any way, check them out, because I know for a fact, I don't just know you, although I love
Right.
you, but man, your CFO, man, he's awesome. Fran is awesome. You got this team of people, and they're all excellent in everything they do, down to the people doing the negotiations
That's
or
right.
on your concierge line.
Yeah.
And
thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I have been fully blessed, and I think I was sharing this with you last night at dinner.
Yeah.
How blessed I am, kind of I am the leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God's blessed me with that position, and I'll honor that position. But to have the people and the resources that I do, especially those around me, because I get frustrated sometimes,
of course.
and they're my hands and feet of Jesus. To be able to hold me sometimes when I get frustrated, things aren't happening the way that I think that they need to, but yet I have to trust them to be able to say, hey, Randy, it's okay. We got you. We're going to do this. And we do it together.
Yeah.
I mean, every week we're doing staff meetings. I made a decision a while back to where if we're having a meeting about one specific thing, I want all ears on deck. Because if you don't know what this person's doing or they don't know what you're doing, and we're trying to be a complete organization, we're failing.
Yeah, there's no synergy.
Yeah. So everybody's involved in everything.
That's great.
And we try to really keep people informed in that, and it's worked beautifully. And I've done that in companies prior,
Sure.
to 2000 and other things. But, communication is key for me.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
you're a good communicator.
Thank you.
You really are, and you always follow through. I think that that's important too,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
Following through. As an individual, you do that. Mm-hmm. But I've seen you do it with Altrua too.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you.
Hey, anything you want to tell the folks before we go today?
Love singing news. Love Scott.
Thank you.
I really appreciate our relationship.
Me too,
I
buddy.
really do. Anytime we're together, anything that we do it with excellence and fun.
Yes.
And that's very unique. So thank you for your friendship and your support within Altrua Healthshare. And look forward to doing things more with you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So check Altrua out. We just can't thank you enough for partnering with
Thank
us. And I can truly say I feel good about telling you, go check them out. You really want to consider being a member if you have any healthcare needs at all. So,
Yes.
Randy,
Thank you.
thanks again, my friend.
Bless you.
All right, God bless y'all.
Thank y'all.